how I truly feel about being an LPN in a nursing home. I fucking hate it. It's the terminal stage. I'm from New York City, so that may be a factor in why it sucks so much in this state. You know, most of the CNAs are Caribbean women, older women, out of shape women. Some of them have, well, not some. I've met one with an ulcer, a foot ulcer, and she, I guess, can't get time off to tend to her foot. She got that ulcer most likely from standing on her feet a lot. Plus, she's overweight, and not being paid enough. That's another factor. And, poor health, you know what I mean? So this is New York City. I've been to other states, and the CNAs aren't as drugged down as the ones in New York City, right? And I know it has mainly to do with staffing. Because I was in Oregon for a 40 patient ratio. They had always at least 5 to 6 CNAs ready to rock and roll and take care of their patients, right? They had quadruple the linen, right? Quadruple the diapers, and you have to fight for diapers, you have to fight for linen, you have to fight for nightgowns, you have to fight for socks, or you have to fight for anything that is needed in the nursing home in these other states. So when I see CNAs in New York City compared to other states, it is very, very unequal. The resources, and they have to fight for union when the hours is cut and all of this blah blah blah, and the union may take this amount of time, but they want them to keep working and keep working and keep working, and they go on strike, and then nothing gets solved, and they do this again, and they do this again, and they do this again, and nothing's getting better, right? Nothing's getting better. You know why nothing is getting better? Because the patients are not getting better. The patients are not getting better. Why? Because of the way they distribute the hours, and not the hours, the way they distribute staffing. Staffing is very poorly orchestrated in New York City. They don't care to have more than three. See, sometimes there's 3 CNAs taking care of 40 residents for the morning shift. I can understand overnight. I can even understand in the evening. But for the morning shift, and because there's only 3 CNAs, guess what's happening? These patients aren't getting their teeth brushed. These patients aren't getting their showers. These patients aren't getting the proper care that they're supposed to be getting. So, therefore, it fucking sucks. When you tell a CNA to give a patient a shower, she looking at you like you fucking crazy. Like, who the fuck, what? Excuse my language, but on some real shit. I'm not giving no fucking shower. Do you know I got 15 patients to take care of? 15 patients. And I've been a CNA for 1 month. So I understand that intensity. I understand that pressure. I understand that shit falling on you when investigation time come around. Some of these patients got the biggest wounds. Festering wounds flesh opened wounds. Like, what the how the hell did that happen? When I went to other states and saw wounds, I didn't see what I was seeing in New York City. And then I'm always seeing state in the building. Why is state in the building? What is state in the building to do? Does state know that patients are not getting their showers in some of these nursing homes? Do patients know, do state know that they are not providing oral care? The state know they're not rubbing their backs during incontinent care to make sure that blood flow, that stagnant blood flow is not happening? I had one patient that was deemed as, she's on the list. Watch her, make sure she don't fall, place mats at the sides of the bed. She's combative and stuff like that. So one day, the CNA said, can you help me with taking care of this patient? And I said, sure, no problem. So I parked the cart, locked up the cart, made sure I had my keys, made sure there was no pens on top of my cart or anything like that, nothing sharp. And I walked away to help the CNA with the patient. Turned the patient on her side, got the patient on her side. She's facing me. And while the CNA is cleaning her up, I'm rubbing her back. Why? Because a back rub makes them feel relaxed. Also, showers make them feel relaxed. We are not providing mouth care, something that you make sure you do every day, CNAs. And then you want a raise and you complain about not having a raise. Look at your product. Look at your product. Stop it. Stop it. Sometimes I hear CNAs complain about not having enough staff. So I always tell them, I said, listen, if you need Hoyer lift help or this help, whatever help, does not matter to stop me so that I can help you. Does not matter. No matter where I am. Because if I didn't tell you that I didn't step off this floor, I'm on the floor. You can always ask me for help. Sometimes I hear they say, oh, some nurses don't even bother to help. I can't even imagine that shit. How did you become a nurse? Why did you become a nurse if you're not trying to help? Like, what are you after? You just after the bag. And that's the problem with this whole thing right now. We don't care to help anybody. We are at being the LTC, working in the LTC. That's the lowest of the lowest, right? Not saying that it's a pity job or whatever the case may be, but it's, the patients are stable. All you are doing is providing care inside of this facility. This is their home, and they don't get treated like they're in their home. They don't even get a shower, which they have rights and access to. People here glossy and just nasty. I just think that is just the most important thing that should be really up to par when it comes to your product. These patients look gross. These patients' nails aren't being clipped. These patients' nails aren't being cleaned. Between the fingers is not being cleaned. And I just had a freaking patient family. One of the last times that I worked, and I'm slowly getting away from it because maybe I think I just need to say this and get this off of my chest, spread the word and stuff like that. But she was a very hands-on family member. I've seen her a couple times, which is okay. Yeah, come sing, come sing to your mother. Come help the CNAs, participate, turn your mother and, you know, do whatever you need to do to make sure that your mother's comfortable in this stage that she's living in, which I've never seen her sitting up. I don't know if she's like, stiffened out like a board, which is crazy to me. But, um, life is funny if it really go down that way. Life is funny. If you really stop moving, you become a corpse like that. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, so this family member, really hands-on, she was like, I was here at 12 o'clock. My mother has not been changed. It's 9 p.m. now. What happened? What happened was we don't got no water. That's what happened. At this moment, we don't have any water, so therefore, kind of have a delay, right? And she was like, well, we did something in order to combat that. And I've heard the CNAs telling the CNA to make sure you take care of her, because she's a hands-on family member or whatever. And I could tell that CNA was a little relaxed, because I told her from the time she got onto the unit, I was like, there's a bell going off right now. You're not doing anything, so go ahead and answer that bell. Go ahead and answer the bell. What are you sitting there for? You do what? I don't understand. Like this, this is your job. Like, that this is what they teach you in the school. Why are y'all so desensitized to the bell? Like, I don't get it. This is what they taught you in the school. You hear the bell go off, you sitting there for 9-10 minutes. You are fucking life alert. What do you I'm not understanding. Y'all, the CNAs are life alert, and when the bell goes off, you're supposed to go and answer the fucking bell. But no, you want to keep clicking the same shit that you clicked yesterday, you clicking right now. But you mean to tell me the patient has to wait because you want to finish your work when? Why are you not going to the bell? Like, I don't understand this. Where did this culture come from? That you don't go to the bell when this is what they tell you in the fucking schools to make sure. What the fuck? If the camera is rolling and they see that the bell is going off and you sitting right there and that patient was on the floor for 15-20 minutes, you know that? Do you know what the fuck is going to happen to you? Do you know what the fuck is going to happen to you? You're in jail, my G. They tell you the cameras are not working. Them shits is working. Be careful. Y'all play too much. Y'all asking for raises and, this is all we get for nurses. We be proud that that's all you fucking get, because you're not even taking care of the product that you signed up to take care of. I came onto the unit one day. This patient is dog sick. All right. I don't even know what happened a couple minutes before me, because I just got onto the unit. He's dog sick. Like, so that means he must have been neglected all day. To be honest with you, right? So the CNA comes up to me and she's like, I see brown stuff coming out of his mouth. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm coming. Finished doing what I was doing, went straight over to him. I see brown stuff coming out his mouth because he's projectile throwing up and stuff like that, right? And this patient, he's always in pain, always this uncomfortable, always just, there's just a lot going on with him, So the supervisors, they I called the supervisor to let them know that he's not doing too well, vital signs and blah, 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 and all this good jazz and stuff like that. I want him out. I want him going. I want him out. But I want him off the unit. Wherever he needs to be with the professionals. Get him out of here. So the supervisors are coming up there and they filling out paperwork and they trying to get him to get ambulance to come and all this blah, 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 blah. I can't talk to those people because I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. I don't know nothing about anything. Okay. So the people who know those things, they need to call, they need to speak to whoever, and they need to speak. I don't know nothing. Anyway, we don't know what hospital you're going to, coming from. I don't know nothing. I just know I just want this patient off the unit. So he's projectile. He's dirty. We got to clean him up before he goes, right? These supervisors is telling me you got to fill out report and this, that, and the third. I'm like, I'll fill out the report when I finish getting this patient cleaned up. I'm not just going to leave it on the CNA for her to do it by herself. What are you talking about, ma'am? You a nurse too. You should understand that that's not the culture. That's not the culture. Like, the culture is we help one another, but I see you on some fuckery. Like, you just do paperwork. No, there's a sick patient in there right now. And one thing we can do is at least make him feel comfortable. What are you talking about, paperwork? This is the lost art of nursing right here and there, is because that's all you care about is some fucking paperwork. If the paperwork was up to par the way that it was supposed to be up to par, being patients actually being monitored the way they're supposed to be monitored, cleansed the way they're supposed to be cleansed. Paperwork is the last bit of the last bit. Girl, get your shot on. That's the last bit of the last bit. Come on, girl. I like to see people jogging. It's a great little exercise, really to get your breathing under control. It's the best way to get your breathing under control under strenuous moments. That's one thing that I practice when I go to work is breathing under strenuous moments, because I know it can get hectic at any moment. It could get live and direct at any moment. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, seeing it live and direct is not something that I actually want to be a part of. I don't want to see people aspirating and, can't breathe and all that type of stuff. Like, I find that stuff to be really, really heartbreaking and very heartbreaking and very sad, very violent. You just can't catch your breath. Very, very brutal. You feel me? You got to make sure patients are okay, and that's something that I was once. It's shocking to see the patient that I've seen one day and the next day that they passed away. And I'm just like, how did that happen? Like, how did the patient have sepsis? Like, sepsis takes a while to actually build up like that. For her to just die, like nothing worked, like that's crazy. Like nothing. She just dead. But then again, are these patients being washed? Is the hygiene up to par? Are patients being cleansed properly? I've seen a wound on a male patient that I was just like, how? Please tell me, how did that happen? How? That looks absolutely crazy. You look like a shark took a bite out of his... How? How the fuck did that happen? Patients are not being bathed. If you put a camera down the drain of this fucking place, this shit would be bone dry. Working in a nursing home on this East Coast side is really saddening. Like, people really actually put their family members there. Like, how? How? But this patient keeps saying, hello, hello. He keeps saying, hello. And you say hello back to him, you know, and then he start crying and stuff like that. Probably sad. He's not being treated correctly. He's not being entertained a bit. Nothing, you know. It's the terminal end of it for them all, and it's really sad because there's no like resources to take them somewhere once in the blue. You know, we only have 1-2 unit clerks, so unit clerk can't orchestrate things like that for them so that they can do those things. It's not in the budget. How is it not in the fucking budget? What are you talking about? Everything is in the budget. You have a nursing home. You're supposed to be doing... Everything is supposed to be in expounding amount for these people to be comfortable. That's what Medicaid and Medicare is for. So now these CNAs don't have enough diapers. The CNAs don't have enough towels to cleanse the patients properly. Make sure that they're dry enough because they don't have enough towels to do a thorough cleanse. They're not even cleaning the residents properly. Like, this is what's irking me as well too, you know. They're not cleaning them properly, and they have these red groins. Like, I don't know, like, you know, the gumption, the actual desire to want to take care of people is gone from these people out here in New York City. Right. I feel like it's gone. And I'm sorry just to say New York City, but this is where I get the bulk of my experience from, you know, and my understanding, you know. This is where I see things, and this is why these things are happening, because these things are not happening properly. It's so understaffed, right? I've went to Washington State before. There's one job that I would love to do. I would love to do it. I would love to do this one job. And I have to find out how to get involved into it. But anyway, I went to Washington State before, and I was working in a nursing home. And I was working the morning shift one day, and over on that side, you get a lot of grandmas and grandpas. I mean, white hair grandma and grandpas, and people who want to give you candy and all this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like they take it, they don't say nothing at you, like you are loved, and they tell you sweet things like that and stuff like that. If you see the patients over in here in New York City, you gotta, if they're contracted with a peg tube, you know, I've seen patients just vegetables in the bed and stuff like that, you know. And I'm not saying that the nursing home did it, but these are, you know, the type of patients that I've come across. And when I see those type of patients, those are the type of patients that I pay attention to the most, because I want to make sure that the CNAs are turning them, you know. I have a story of, and I don't know if I just finished that story that I was just about to tell you, but I'm sorry. I have so many stories inside of me about being an LPN and seeing certain things, and then when you get to when you say something about it, it's like, why are you even talking? We're not respected. We're not respected. You know, they big, they have their own cliques and tricks and all this stuff and blah, 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 blah. I've seen HIPAA laws being broken. They're talking about you got to be using this cream on that patient and this, that, and the third. As soon as they come onto the unit, 7 o'clock in the morning, they screaming, they yelling, they shooting, they shouting, they hollering. People are sleeping. What is the problem? Why are we yelling? Why are we shouting? Why is there so much going on? Doesn't make sense to me. I thought working as a nurse, geriatric nurse, would be fulfilling. You know,